Quitting addiction is easy actually. So you want to kick that addiction, What makes you think you're ready to quit? First things first, here at Simply Actually, we are experts in the world, and all the multifarious flora and fauna that live within it. Our knowledge is vast, almost godlike, and we have access to the eons of sublime and beautiful wisdom that is concealed in the very fabrics of our universe. We are quite frankly your guide to life on planet Earth and beyond, and we have ascended to the highest plane of beauty, freedom and trust. We benevolently share our life hacks with you puny folks who exist only within the material realm. And as our extraterrestrial hearts glow at the sight of moral happiness, we ask you for nothing in return beyond a like and a quick click of the subscribe button. Despite our joyful enlightenment, there is only one thing we have to tell you. We are not doctors. If you click on this video, you probably feel that you're an addict in some way. Addiction is a term that's thrown around a lot nowadays. But what does addiction mean? And what things can we become addicted to? In medical literature, addiction is defined as any habit or substance that an individual relies upon to the point that they no longer have control. The National Institution of Drug Abuse, part of the National Institution of Health, says that something becomes addictive when it simulates our mesolimbic systems. That's your brain's reward mechanism, which produces and disperses dopamine around your amygdala, prefrontal cortex and hippocampus. These parts of the brain affect our decision-making, emotional regulation and memory. The hippocampus is particularly important here, as one of its main functions is to transfer short-term memories into long-term memories. As a result, substance or activities that stimulate dopamine make us feel positive, even euphoric. It is this euphoria that our brains remember and keeps them going back for more. In the olden days, scientists and behaviour experts used the term addiction to describe the effect that substances, like drugs and alcohol, have on some people's brains. Nowadays, we recognise that addiction is a much wider issue, and deeply complex one at that. No, it's not weakness or a lack of willpower that causes someone to develop an unhealthy habit. It's just a sign that you need to cope with something in your life at one time, and now that coping mechanism is negatively impacting you. Let's get back to our original point. We can become addicted to anything that makes our brain feel good. Here are some examples. Nicotine, which is in cigarettes and vapes. Alcohol. So-called harder recreational drugs like cocaine, Molly, LSD and heroin. Gambling. Sex. Caffeine. The internet, especially social media. And even work. We joke about some people being workaholics, but some people get hooked on that high that productivity gives them. In this video, we're going to show you how to kick your habits as though it were just a tumbleweed. However, you must bear in mind that certain addictive substances, especially drugs like amphetamines, cocaine and heroin, can cause you to go into withdrawal if you cut them off cold turkey. You need to go and see your doctor if you're struggling with a Class A drug habit. They can signpost you to recovery programs and prescribe certain medications to curb your cravings and withdrawal symptoms. The fact that you've recognised that you have a problem is a difficult step, but a brave and healthy one. If you can do this, you have the strength to quit your addiction and you're ready to quit. Make sure you visit your doctor to get the support you need and deserve. This video is no substitute. But with that said, let's dive into 10 ways to make quitting your addiction easy. But be warned, when you complete these 10 steps, you will almost certainly feel much worse than when you started. Yeah, you heard me correctly. This process does come at a price. Once you are addiction free, you may find yourself wondering why you ever clicked upon this video to begin with. It may be easy to quit your addiction, but staying clean is much, much harder. If you fancy some doom and gloom, stick around to the end of the video to find out why. Number 1. Find your why. Tell me, Squire, why do you want to quit? What negative impact is your addiction having on you? Perhaps your caffeine craze has raised your tolerance, and you need 3 or 4 cups of coffee every morning when you used to only need 1. Perhaps you're spending more time than you would like at gambling, or losing time to a social media habit. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, and kind will do, and scribble down at least 3 ways your addiction holds you back. Next, set at least 3 achievable goals. For example, I want to make it through 1 8-hour shift without a smoke break. Keep this piece of paper somewhere that you can see it. On the fridge, on your desk at work, or your bedroom wall. If you can remember your whys in this way, the hows will fall into place. 2. Save the date. Wherever you keep your calendar, so on your phone, computer, or hanging on the wall, mark the first day of your sobriety with a cross. Cross off each subsequent day of your sobriety, and watch your addiction-free days gather on the page like flowers in a meadow. Not only will this become a visual representation of your progress, but it will help keep you accountable. Number 3. Environment. When you are working so hard to change on the inside, the outside should change too. Make sure your environment can keep up with the positive changes you are making. If you're quitting cigarettes, there's no place in your apartment for an ashtray. Maybe you no longer need multiple lighters. Any recovering workaholic should not bring their company laptop home during evenings and weekends. These small changes remove temptation and are signs to yourself and others that you are committed to change. Number 4. Networking. So you are the only person that can conquer your addiction, but every successful recovery is founded on a strong, consistent support network. Who can you reach out to if you find you are struggling with your quitting journey? If you're lucky enough to have a family that supports you, reach out to your mum, dad, or siblings to open up about your struggles. If not, tell your friends about your habit and the reasons that you want to quit. Even if these people have not experienced addiction themselves, a sympathetic ear works wonders on a hard day, and they may have fresh ideas to help you find your way. Find a community of people who are recovering from the same thing as you. A support group, either in person or online, is invaluable. Those who have faced the battles you're facing and survived can offer you fiercely relevant advice and encouragement. 5. Research. Dr. Google isn't always right. However, if you're still hunting for your support network, have a look online. You may come across a forum, YouTube channel, or another resource that allows recovering addicts to exchange experiences and advice. You may find research papers or studies related to your addiction that shed light on the subject and give you useful clues as to why you became addicted in the first place. 6. Medication and therapy. So certain medications can increase your chances of quitting a bad habit. While some, like methadone, are reserved only for those with acute cravings and withdrawal symptoms, of course, your addiction might be masking underlying issues like anxiety or depression. Now you have quit, you might find those niggling problems return very quickly. Speak to your doctor to explore which medications and/or therapies might be available to you. 7. Bait and switch. It's time to fool that crafty little mind of yours. If your brain's hooked on the dopamine it gets from gambling online, make sure you find a less harmful habit that will have a similar effect. Download a new game on your phone that gives you the same rush as the slot machine, or replace your morning brew with a caffeine-free beans so that you enjoy roasted coffee taste without the caffeine. 8. Recognise your progress. As the crosses on the calendar mount up and your habits start to change, it's time to look around you and see how far you've come. Share every success, no matter how big or how small, with your support network, and reward yourself with a nice meal or day out when you've achieved your goals. Believe it or not, this reward may stimulate dopamine release inside your brain and reinforce the act of quitting your addiction as a positive one. 9. Recovery graph. We all expect recovery to move in a straight line. Too often we assume that if we are not more recovered in April than we were in March, then we're somehow doing recovery wrong. It's vital to remember that recovery isn't linear. There will be times when you slide backwards or fall off the horse and find yourself returning to the arms of your addiction. The difference between addiction and recovery is whether or not you pick yourself up and try again. Now we've rattled through 10 ways to make addiction easy, shall we have a chat about why staying habit-free is so hard? The chances are that if you struggle for a while with your addiction, once it's gone, it leaves a big crater in your life. This hole may be a positive one. Perhaps you're saving the money you used to spend on cigarettes, or your head is clear enough to engage fully with friends and family. But that hole may also feel unsettling. Regardless of what you were addicted to, that habit once filled a purpose in your life. It made you feel strong, happy, calm, or even more fulfilled. It could be that you've had to see less of certain people or places that were associated with your habit. These feelings of uncertainty and loneliness make sober living look much less attractive. It's no wonder that so many people find themselves relapsing after they've put in so much work to get clean. As with any of life's many trials, it's important to exercise some self-compassion here. After all, there was a time when your addiction was all you had to look forward to, or all you had in your arsenal to keep you going every day. In some cases, it might have felt like a close friend or a core part of your identity. When this is gone, it's natural to feel pretty rough for a time. If you find yourself tempted to return to your substance, there's only one thing you can do. Get up from your chair, your bed, or the couch. If it's daytime or you feel safe outside at night, then head outside and walk briskly for at least 15 minutes. This will get your endorphins flowing, which boosts your mood and distracts you, just a little from your cravings. If you can't go outside, open your window just a fraction to let some fresh air into your space. Challenge yourself to spot 10 new things, even if there's not much of a view. It may feel contrived at first, but by forcing yourself to switch focus, you are actively rewriting your brain's reward system. Gradually, your brain will learn its old dopamine source is no longer accessible, leaving you to nurture your mind in different ways. Thanks so much for watching today's video. For more words of wisdom, please click the like button and press subscribe. These are both easy and low-cost ways to support our channel and to see more videos like this one in your newsfeed. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.